So to begin painting this, I have a watercolor brush I'm going to use, so very soft bristles. I have some watercolor paints and some water nearby. So you won't really see those in the frame, but you'll know that I have them nearby. So I'm cleaning out my brush, running it over the edge of the water container 2 times. Let's say I start with the platter here. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that light green color. And I'm going to go ahead and start applying that on there. That looks like I could go a little darker with paint, so I got a little bit more paint now. So staying inside that crayon line, using it like a border or like a fence. Something you can do, we've been talking about making our paintings and things look a little more three-dimensional lately. And a good way to do that is to show light colors and dark colors. So I showed you guys a trick using water-based markers as paint last time. Another thing you could do is, like, this is all one color right now, so I'm going to rinse out my brush and I'm going to go to a darker green. And I'm going to put that darker green just on one side. Then if I clean out my brush, run out the extra water, and then I'm going to pull that darker into the lighter, and we know that effect is called blending. So it gets a little bit more of a 3D effect on the cake platter. So I want to make sure I do things like that on the cake as well. So for the color of the cake, I decided I was going to use this reddish purple color here. So I'm filling this in. That is the color that I traced it with. And then I want to show some repetition to tie everything together. So up here would be the same. And this part's the same color, so I could actually go into there too, save myself a little bit of time working. So the nice thing is, if I accidentally start to go over the crayon line will act like a little border or a fence for me, and it'll kind of hold some of that water back because it doesn't like it to stick to the crayon wax. So I would keep on with that color, but then I have this bluish green color here I'm going to use on the cake. So I cleaned up my brush, I'm going to load it with that. So this, I need to steer the brush around and go in between those lines that I did. So we took the time to kind of level up and make the cake stand look 3D. So we're going to try with our paint to do that on the cake itself. So what I'm going to do, clean out my brush, find a darker color that's close to that blue-green. So there's a pretty dark blue over here I can use. And I'm just going to apply that to one side there. But I'm not going to cover up all the paint. I'm going to put that on there and kind of leave that. Clean out my brush, and I'm going to use a clean brush and pull that dark color into the light so it fades away, and you guys know that effect is called blending. So you already see how it looks like this is going around to the other side of the cake just by darkening that color. So it would be sort of misrepresenting if I left that pink purple color there just like it is. So I'm going to go in with some of this darker purple I have. I'm going to put some here on the side, here on this side. Need a little more paint on this side. Clean out my brush, and I'm going to pull that into the lighter part so it fades away as well. If you'll notice, I picked a dark side and I sort of stuck with it with all my colors. So you don't want to switch all of a sudden to where your dark side is on one side, then it jumps to the other. You want to keep it on the same side. So this appears like the light is coming over here on the cake, so then some of the shadows and the dark parts are over here. So you'll continue painting your other layers, painting your background, anything else you want to put in there. So I look forward to looking and seeing what you guys turn out with when you're finished.